The gun was already pressed to his temple when Sang-woo opened his eyes. Cold metal. Steady hand. A woman's silhouette against Seoul's skyline. "Hello, Sang-woo." Her whisper cut through darkness. "Miss me?" He didn't recognize the voice. Didn't recognize the face. But those eyes. Burning with cold fire. Hungry. Broken. He would know those eyes anywhere. "Who are you?" The woman smiled. Reached up and peeled something from her face, a thin membrane, nearly invisible. The features beneath were different. Sharper. Colder. But the eyes never changed. Yoonji. Surprised? She pressed the gun harder. "You shouldn't be. You taught me something 2 years ago. That mercy is weakness." His wife was down the hall. His 2-year-old daughter sleeping in her room. Both vulnerable. Both trusting they were safe. "How did you get past my security?" "Your security works for me now. Has for 6 months. Her smile widened. "Your nanny too. Your wife's new patient. Half the staff surrounding your precious family." 6 months. She'd been inside his life for 6 months. And he'd been blind. "What do you want?" "Everything. But not tonight." She stepped toward the window. "Tonight I just wanted you to know. Everything you love, I'm going to take it. Piece by piece." She paused at the window. "Sweet dreams, Sang-woo." Then she was gone. And Sang-woo sat in darkness, realizing that 2 years of happiness had been built on sand. The tide was coming. Hey fam, welcome back to Afro Soul Diaries. Click that subscribe button now to be a part of this lovely community and enjoy top-notch storytelling. Drop a comment so we can bond better. Now let's dive into today's story. Alma found him in the kitchen at 4 a.m., staring at a cup of coffee he hadn't touched. Couldn't sleep? She wrapped her arms around him from behind, pressing her warm cheek against his back. Her presence still did what it had always done, quieted the noise in his head, calmed the restless energy that used to consume him. But tonight, even her touch couldn't fully reach him. "Just thinking about work," he lied. The words tasted like ash in his mouth. "You work too hard." She kissed his shoulder. "Come back to bed. Nana will be up in a few hours demanding pancakes, and you know she only wants you to make them." Nana. Their daughter. 2 years old, with Alma's warm brown skin and his intense eyes. Named after Alma's grandmother, the healer who had passed down the gift that had saved his life. And Yoonji had access to her. "I'll be there soon. Just need to make some calls." Alma studied him for a moment. She could always read him better than anyone. After everything they'd been through together, the betrayal, the separation, the painful journey back to each other, she knew when something was wrong. But this time, she just nodded and returned to bed. The moment she was gone, Sang-woo grabbed his phone and called Kwon, his underboss. "Hyung-nim?" Kwon answered groggily. "It's 4 a.m. Emergency meeting. 1 hour. Only bring people you would trust with your life. No one else." A pause. Kwon knew that tone. "What's happening?" Sang-woo stared at the window Yoonji had used. State-of-the-art security. Armed guards. Electronic surveillance. All of it useless. She's back. Yoonji's back. And she's already inside. But the meeting would have to wait. 30 minutes later, Nana screamed. Sang-woo and Alma both sprinted down the hallway, hearts pounding. They burst into their daughter's room to find her sitting up in bed, eyes wide open, body completely rigid. "Nana?" Alma grabbed her daughter's shoulders. "Baby, wake up. Look at Alma." Nothing. Nana stared straight ahead, seeing something they couldn't see. Her small body was frozen, her breathing shallow and strange, her beautiful brown eyes empty of any recognition. "What's happening?" Sang-woo's voice cracked. "What's wrong with her?" "I don't know." Alma's hands were shaking. She's had small episodes before, just seconds where she seems to drift. But nothing like this. Nothing this long. The seconds stretched into an eternity. 1 minute. 2. 3. Sang-woo had faced death more times than he could count. Had stared down enemies who wanted to destroy him. Had survived a curse that should have driven him mad. But watching his daughter trapped in her own mind, unable to reach her, unable to help, this was a terror beyond anything he'd ever known. Nana, please. Alma's voice broke. Please come back to us, baby. Then Nana blinked. Looked at her mother with confusion, as if waking from a strange dream. Alma? Why are you crying? Alma sobbed with relief, crushing her daughter against her chest. You scared us, baby. You were gone. You weren't responding. I was in the dark place again. Nana's small voice was eerily calm. The lady was there. Sang-woo felt ice spreading through his veins. What lady, princess? The sad lady. She talks to me sometimes when I go to the dark place. Nana frowned, trying to explain something she didn't fully understand. She says she's coming to take me home. But I am home. Right, Appa? This is home. Sang-woo couldn't answer. Someone was reaching into his daughter's mind. Someone was visiting her in that dark place, speaking to her, trying to take her away. Yoonji. It had to be Yoonji. But how? How was she doing it? He looked at Alma over their daughter's head. Saw his own terror reflected in her eyes. Something was very, very wrong. And they were running out of time to figure out what. But how was Yoonji reaching Nana? What technology could invade a child's mind from a distance? The answers came faster than Sang-woo expected. And each one was worse than the last. 3 days later, Sang-woo met Kwon at a secure location far from the penthouse. The underboss looked exhausted, dark circles under his eyes, a folder thick with documents clutched in his hands. Whatever he'd found, it had cost him sleep. Tell me everything, Sang-woo said. Kwon slid the folder across the table. The nanny. Song Min-ji. She's been with you 8 months. She passed every background check. Her references were impeccable. The background was real. Her loyalty wasn't. Kwon's jaw tightened. We found payments to an offshore account. Started the same month she was hired. Someone's been paying her a lot of money to report on your family. Sang-woo opened the folder. Photographs. Bank records. Communication logs. She's been documenting everything. Nana's schedule, when she wakes up, when she naps, what she eats. Every detail of your daughter's life has been transmitted to an unknown handler. Who's the handler? Still working on that. But there's more. Kwon hesitated, like he didn't want to deliver the next blow. The new security guard. Kim Tae-young. The one you vetted personally. His references checked out. His background was clean. Because they were manufactured. His entire identity was created 3 years ago. Before that, he doesn't exist. No photos, no records, no trace of him anywhere. Kwon shook his head. Someone spent serious money making him look legitimate. Sang-woo felt the walls closing in around him. How many more? We're still counting. Could be a handful. Could be a dozen. Kwon pulled out another file. But the worst one is Kang Joon-ho. The name hit Sang-woo like a punch to the chest. Alma's new patient. The one she'd mentioned at breakfast weeks ago. The charming man with the sad story about childhood trauma. Show me. Kwon handed over surveillance photos. Joon-ho entering Alma's healing center. Joon-ho sitting across from her in sessions, his expression warm and sympathetic. Joon-ho leaning forward, listening intently, building trust. He's been gathering intelligence for months. Everything about your routines. Your security vulnerabilities. Your daughter's episodes. Kwon's voice was grim. He knows things that only someone close to your wife could know. Who does he report to? That's the thing, young Nim. Kwon leaned forward. The money trail leads to the Jade Tigers. The room went cold. The Jade Tigers. The syndicate that had paid Dr. Han to poison Sang-woo 2 years ago. The same people who'd wanted him destabilized, destroyed, dead. The ones who'd first weaponized Yunji's jealousy against him. They hadn't given up. They'd just changed tactics. Yunji's working with them? Not just working with them. Kwon's expression was dark. They rebuilt her. After you sent her to prison, they got her out. Gave her a new face. New identity. New purpose. They've spent 2 years turning her into a weapon aimed directly at your family. Sang-woo closed his eyes. 2 years of happiness. 2 years of believing the nightmare was finally over. All of it had been an illusion. A cage he hadn't even known he was in. That night, Sang-woo watched Amma put Nana to bed. He stood in the doorway as she sang the Ghanaian lullabies her grandmother had taught her. Watched Nana's eyes grow heavy, her small body relaxing into sleep, her goddess lock spread across the pillow. His daughter. His miracle. The proof that something good could come from his cursed bloodline. And someone wanted to take her away. You're scaring me. Amma's voice was quiet as they stood in the hallway outside Nana's room. She searched his face, looking for answers he didn't know how to give. You've been different for days. Barely sleeping. Jumping at sounds. Tell me what's happening. He wanted to protect her from the truth. Wanted to carry this weight alone. That was what he did, he protected the people he loved by keeping the darkness away from them. But they'd tried secrets before. It had nearly destroyed them both. Yunji's alive. Amma's face went pale. She came to our bedroom 3 nights ago. Held a gun to my head while you were sleeping. He watched the horror spread across her features. She's been infiltrating our lives for 6 months. Our nanny works for her. Our security guard. Your patient Junho, he's one of her operatives. Junho? Amma's voice was barely a whisper. But I was helping him. He had trauma, he needed. It was an act. All of it. He's been gathering information about us, about Nana, about her episodes. Sang-woo took her hands. Yunji's working with the Jade Tigers. And she's doing something to our daughter. Those episodes, they're not natural. They're being triggered somehow. Triggered? How is that possible? Some kind of technology. Neurological weapons. His voice broke. They're reaching into our daughter's mind, Amma. Taking her to that dark place. And I don't know how to stop them. Amma was silent for a long moment. He watched emotions flicker across her face, fear, anger, disbelief. And then something else. Determination. Then we fight, she said. Together. But before they could plan their response, Yunji made her move. The text arrived at midnight, from an unknown number. Public press conference. Tomorrow. 2 p.m. You will announce your retirement from all business operations. You will confess to crimes detailed in the attached document. You will destroy your reputation completely, the same way you destroyed mine. Refuse, and your daughter's episodes become permanent. She will live the rest of her life trapped in that dark place. Awake but never present. A living ghost. You have 24 hours. Sang-woo stared at the message, reading it again and again. His hands didn't shake. His heart didn't race. He felt only cold, calculated fury. His phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. Did you think I was bluffing? Yunji's voice was silk wrapped around a blade. Your daughter's condition isn't random, Sang-woo. It's being triggered by technology your primitive doctors can't even detect. What technology? Neurological weapons. The Jade Tigers have been developing them for years. Frequencies that disrupt normal brain function. Compounds that create vulnerability. A pause, and he could hear the smile in her voice. Your precious nanny has been feeding them to Nana for months. Every episode she has, every trip to that dark place, that's us. That's me. Reaching into your daughter's mind and taking her away from you piece by piece. Sang-woo gripped the phone so hard the case cracked in his hand. If you've hurt my daughter. I haven't hurt her yet. Not permanently. That's entirely up to you. Her voice turned businesslike. Press conference. Tomorrow. 2 p.m. Destroy your reputation, confess to the crimes in that document, and your daughter goes free. Her episodes stop. She goes back to normal. And if I refuse? Then I accelerate the process. Right now, she can still come back from the dark place. But with a few adjustments to the frequency, that changes. She'll be trapped there forever. Conscious but unreachable. A living ghost, like I said. His jaw tightened. Why? Why are you doing this? Because you taught me what I'm worth. Her voice cracked with old pain, old fury. You stood in front of everyone at that press conference and said I could never be her. Never be Alma. Never be enough. You tried to frame my wife. You worked with people who wanted me dead. What did you expect? I expected you to understand. The words exploded from her. I loved you, Sang-woo. I loved you more than I've ever loved anything. I watched you suffer with that condition for years. I wanted to be the one who saved you, the one who gave you peace. And then she walked in. This woman from nowhere, and suddenly you looked at her like she was everything. Like I was nothing. Yoonji. You said I could never be her. Do you remember that? Standing there at that press conference, looking at me like I was less than the dirt on your shoes. He remembered. Every word. So yes, Sang-woo. I'm doing this. Because you taught me that love means nothing if you don't have power. And now I have power over everything you love. Her voice hardened to steel. Press conference. Tomorrow. 2 p.m. Don't be late. The line went dead. Sang-woo stared at the phone. 24 hours to save his daughter. 24 hours to outmaneuver a woman who'd spent 2 years planning his complete destruction. So what would you do? Would you give up everything? Surrender your empire, your reputation, your life's work to save your child? Or would you find another way? If you're already invested in this story, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because what happens next changes everything. We're not running. Alma's voice was firm when Sang-woo proposed sending her and Nana to Ghana. Your family could protect you there, he argued. Keep you safe while I handle things here. Handle things? Alma shook her head. Our daughter is being attacked through her mind. Distance won't stop that. Whatever technology they're using, it can reach her anywhere. Then what do you suggest? We fight. But not just with your methods. Alma took his hands, her grip fierce. My grandmother knew things that modern medicine can't explain. She could reach into places that don't show up on any scan. If something is invading Nana's consciousness, maybe I can find it. Maybe I can fight it. Alma, this isn't traditional healing. This is technology. Weapons designed by people with billions of dollars and no conscience. Then I'll fight technology with something older. Something they don't understand and can't predict. Her eyes burned with determination. You handle Yoonji. I'll protect our daughter. That's how we survive this, together, playing to our strengths. He wanted to argue. Every protective instinct screamed at him to lock Alma and Nana in a vault somewhere safe. But Alma was right. She'd never been the type to hide. And her gift had saved him when nothing else could. What do you need? Time. And trust. She kissed him softly. Whatever happens tomorrow at that press conference, don't give her what she wants. She won't stop at humiliation. She'll take everything and still hurt Nana just to watch us suffer. How do you know? Because that's what pain does when it's left to fester. It doesn't want justice. It wants company. It wants everyone else to hurt as badly as it does. Sang-woo spent the night planning. Not surrender. Never surrender. But misdirection. Manipulation. Using Yoonji's certainty against her. She thought she knew him. Thought love had made him weak and predictable, desperate enough to sacrifice everything without fighting back. She was right about one thing: he would sacrifice everything for his family. But sacrifice didn't mean surrender. It meant being willing to do whatever was necessary, no matter the cost. At midnight, he made a call he never expected to make. The number belonged to someone he'd considered an enemy for most of his career. Captain Yoon. This is Choi Sang-woo. A long pause. Then, the Dragon of Gangnam calling the National Police Organized Crime Unit. This should be very interesting. I have information about the Jade Tigers. Their locations across Asia. Their operations. Their illegal weapons development program. And you're sharing this because? Because they have my daughter. They're using experimental technology to attack her mind. And I'm willing to burn down my own empire if it means burning them too. Another pause. I'm listening. The next day, Sang-woo walked into the press conference like a man going to his execution. Cameras everywhere. Reporters from every major outlet. The Dragon of Gangnam was about to make a historic announcement, and everyone wanted to witness his fall. In a private room upstairs, Yoonji watched on monitors, savoring every moment. Junho stood beside her. He's actually going to do it, Junho said, surprise in his voice. Of course he is. Love makes men predictable. Yoonji leaned forward, drinking in the image. Watch him destroy himself. Watch everything he spent his life building turn to ash. On the monitors, Sang-woo reached the podium. Cleared his throat. Thank you all for coming. I have an important announcement to make. Yoonji smiled. But first, Sang-woo continued, I'd like to introduce someone. The doors burst open. Kwon walked in, followed by 20 armed officers from the National Police Organized Crime Unit. Yoonji shot to her feet. What? Park Yuna, Sang-woo's voice boomed through the speakers, also known as Park Yoonji. You're under arrest for conspiracy, kidnapping, illegal human experimentation, and terrorism. Chaos erupted. Yoonji ran for the exit, but police officers were already there. Junho tried a service door and ran directly into Jaehwan's fist. Going somewhere? Sang-woo's brother asked pleasantly, standing over Junho's crumpled form. Within minutes, it was over. Yoonji was in handcuffs. Junho was bleeding on the floor. The operation lay in ruins. But Sang-woo wasn't celebrating. He grabbed Yoonji by the collar before the police could pull her away. The compound. The one you've been giving my daughter. Where's the antidote? Yoonji laughed, blood on her lip from where an officer had been rough. You think I'd keep it somewhere you could find it? Where? Jade Tiger Facility. Incheon Docks. Warehouse 47. Her eyes glittered with malice. But here's the thing, Sang-woo. The compound becomes permanent after 72 hours without the antidote. And your daughter got her last dose 3 days ago. His blood turned to ice. You're lying. Am I? She smiled. You have maybe 6 hours. Maybe less. The facility is heavily guarded. And even if you get there, you'll never find it without the access codes. Give them to me. Why would I do that? Sang-woo leaned close, his voice dropping to a whisper only she could hear. Because if my daughter doesn't recover, I will burn down every prison you're sent to. I will find you in every hole they hide you. And I will make your death last for months. Something flickered in Yoonji's eyes. Fear. Real fear. The code is 7-7-4-9-2-1. Sublevel 3. Room 12. She swallowed hard. The antidote is in a red case. But Sang-woo, the facility has 30 armed guards. You'll never make it. He released her and turned to Kwon. Get every man we have. We're going to Incheon. Hyung-nim, maybe we should let the police. My daughter has 6 hours. His eyes were cold. Dead. The dragon of Gangnam fully awakened. We go now. The convoy tore through Seoul streets at 3 a.m. 12 vehicles. 40 men. Every weapon they could gather in 20 minutes. Sang-woo sat in the lead car, checking his gun, his mind on Alma and Nana back at the penthouse. He'd called her before leaving. I have to do this, he'd said. I know. Her voice was steady despite her fear. Bring the antidote home. I'll keep her stable until you return. How? I don't know. But I will. A pause. I love you. I love you too. Both of you. Now, speeding toward Incheon, he replayed those words. Wondered if they'd be his last to her. Kwon sat beside him, reviewing facility blueprints on a tablet. 30 guards minimum. Possibly more. 2 entry points, main gate and service entrance. Both heavily monitored. Then we don't use either. Sang-woo studied the blueprints. What's this? On the east side? Drainage tunnel. Leads to the basement level. That's our way in. 10 men through the tunnel. The rest hit the main gate as a distraction. He looked at Kwon. I lead the tunnel team. Hyung-nim. My daughter. My fight. Kwon nodded slowly. There was no arguing with that voice. The Incheon docks were quiet at 4 a.m. Warehouse 47 sat at the end of a long pier, surrounded by chain-link fencing topped with razor wire. Guards patrolled the perimeter in pairs. Security cameras covered every angle. From their position behind shipping containers, Sang-woo counted the opposition. 32 visible, he murmured. Probably more inside. The distraction team is in position, Kwon reported through the earpiece. Ready on your signal. Sang-woo looked at the 9 men behind him. His best. His most loyal. Men who would die for him without question. We have one objective. The antidote. Red case. Sublevel 3, room 12. Everything else is secondary. He checked his weapon one final time. Let's go. He gave the signal. Explosions rocked the main gate. Gunfire erupted. Guards sprinted toward the chaos, leaving the east side exposed. Sang-woo's team moved like shadows. The drainage tunnel was cramped and dark, ankle-deep in stagnant water. They moved quickly, silently, flashlights cutting through the blackness. 3 minutes in, they reached a grate. Beyond it, a basement corridor. Sang-woo cut through the metal and dropped down first. 2 guards stood at the far end, backs turned toward the sounds of battle above. 2 silenced shots. Both dropped. Move. They found the stairwell and descended to sublevel 3. The corridor here was different, clinical white walls, fluorescent lights, the hum of equipment. A laboratory. Yoonji hadn't lied. Room 12 was at the end of the hall. 2 guards flanked the door. They spotted Sang-woo's team and raised their weapons. Too slow. Sang-woo put them down before they could fire a single shot. He kicked open the door. Inside, a sterile room filled with medical equipment. Refrigeration units lined one wall. And there, on a central table, a red case. He opened it. Vials of clear liquid. Syringes. Documentation in Korean and English. The antidote. Got it, he said into his earpiece. Exfil now. But as he turned to leave, a voice stopped him cold. Impressive, dragon. A man stepped from the shadows at the back of the room. Korean. 50s. Silver hair. Expensive suit despite the warehouse setting. Sang-woo raised his weapon. Who are you? The man who funded this entire operation. The stranger smiled. The Jade Tigers were just a front. A distraction. The real power has always been elsewhere. What do you want? The same thing everyone wants. His eyes moved to the red case in Sang-woo's hand. Your wife. Your daughter. The gift that runs in their blood. You're not getting anywhere near my family. Not today, perhaps. But soon. The man reached into his pocket, slowly, deliberately, and produced a business card. He tossed it onto the table between them. When you're ready to negotiate, call that number. Because this? He gestured around the room. This was just the beginning. He pressed something on his wrist. A hidden door opened behind him. Until next time, dragon. Then he was gone. Sang-woo grabbed the card. Black with silver lettering. A single word, obsidian. He pocketed it and ran. The drive back to Seoul was the longest of his life. Dawn was breaking when he burst through the penthouse door. Alma sat on the couch, Nana in her lap, both of them pale and exhausted. Did you get it? He held up the red case. 15 minutes later, a doctor they trusted administered the antidote. Nana cried at the needle, but within an hour, the change was visible. Her eyes cleared. Her body relaxed. She looked at her parents with full recognition for the first time in days. Amma? Appa? She frowned. Why is everyone crying? Alma pulled her close, sobbing with relief. Sang-woo wrapped his arms around both of them, his own eyes wet. It was over. For now. But later that night, after Nana was asleep and the doctor had left, Sang-woo showed Alma the card. Obsidian, she read. What is it? I don't know yet. But someone powerful is behind all of this. The jade tigers were just pawns. He stared at the black card. They want you. You and Nana. Something about a gift in your blood. Alma touched her grandmother's necklace. My grandmother always said our family was special. That we carried something ancient. Whatever it is, they're willing to kill for it. What do we do? Sang-woo pulled her close. We disappear for a while. Take Nana somewhere safe. Regroup. Where? He kissed her forehead. Ghana. Your family. Your territory. She nodded slowly. And then? Then I find out who these people are. And I destroy them. The aftermath took months. Jade Tiger operations were dismantled across Asia. Leaders arrested. The weapons program exposed and shut down. Yoonji cooperated with authorities. Her information saved 17 children from facilities across 3 countries. And 6 months later, Sang-woo visited her in prison. She looked different without the masks. Just a woman living with consequences. Why did you help them? He asked. You could have stayed silent. Because you offered something no one else did. She finally met his eyes. A chance to be more than my worst moment. He nodded slowly. Couldn't forgive her fully. But could acknowledge change. The children you helped save. 17 of them. That matters. He stood to leave. Sang-woo. He paused. I'm sorry. For all of it. I don't expect forgiveness. I just needed you to know. He was quiet for a long moment. Healing is possible. Even for the most broken. Then he left. And Yoonji sat alone with something she hadn't felt in years. Hope. Ghana was healing. Nana ran through her grandmother's village like she'd been born there. Chasing chickens. Playing with cousins. Laughing without shadows. The antidote had worked completely. No more episodes. No more dark places. Alma's mother watched from the porch, tears in her eyes. She's beautiful. Both of them. Alma followed her gaze to Sang-woo, attempting traditional dances with her father. Terrible at it. Laughing anyway. He's trying, Alma said. That's all any of us can do. That night, after Nana was asleep, Sang-woo and Alma lay together in the small guest room. The sounds of the African night surrounded them. Insects. Distant drums whined through the trees. Do you ever wonder what happens next? She asked, her head on his chest. Living. Just living. Being a family. Sounds boring. God, I hope so. She propped herself up, looking down at him in the moonlight. Her goddess locks fell around her face. Her skin glowed. Thank you. For what? For coming for her. For us. She kissed him softly. For never giving up. He pulled her closer, their bodies pressing together. I would burn the entire world down for you. Both of you. I know. She kissed him deeper. That's what scares me. And what I love most. They made love slowly that night. Desperately. Like two people who'd almost lost everything and were still amazed to find each other whole. Afterward, she lay in his arms, both of them finally at peace. I love you, she whispered. I love you too. My miracle. 2 years of peace followed. Nana started school. Alma's healing center expanded. Sangwoo stepped back from the violent side of his business. They had another child, a boy named Kofi. Life was good. Normal. Everything he never believed he deserved. Then one night, Nana looked up from her homework. Alma? Yes, baby. I had a dream. About a bad man. Alma's hands went still. What kind of bad man? He was watching me through a window. I couldn't see his face. Nana frowned. He wanted something inside me. Something he said belonged to him. Alma pulled her daughter close. Just a dream, baby. It didn't feel like a dream. It felt real. Over her daughter's head, Alma's eyes met Sangwoo's. He reached into his pocket. Pulled out the black card he'd kept for 2 years. Obsidian. They weren't done. That night, after the children slept, Sangwoo made a call. The number on the card. It rang 3 times. Mr. Choi. The voice was smooth. Cold. The same man from the warehouse. I wondered when you'd call. Stay away from my family. I'm afraid I can't do that. Your wife's bloodline is too valuable. And your daughter, she's even more special than her mother. The potential she carries. A pause. We will have them, Dragon. The only question is whether you cooperate and live, or resist and die. Who are you? The Obsidian Syndicate. We've existed for centuries. We've guided empires, toppled governments, shaped the course of human history. And now we've found something we've been seeking for generations. What? The healer's bloodline. Pure. Unbroken. And now passed to a new generation. The voice hardened. We'll be in touch, Mr. Choi. Enjoy your peace while it lasts. The line went dead. Sangwoo stared at the phone. Behind him, Alma stood in the doorway. They're coming for us, aren't they? He turned to face her. Yes. What do we do? He pulled her close. Held her tight. We fight. We run. We do whatever it takes. He kissed her forehead. But I will never let them take you. Either of you. She looked up at him, fear and love in her eyes. Promise me. I promise. But even as he said the words, he knew the truth. The Obsidian Syndicate had been hunting for centuries. They had resources. Patience. Power beyond anything he could imagine. And they wanted his family. The nightmare wasn't over. It was only beginning. What is the Obsidian Syndicate? How long have they been watching? And can Sangwoo protect his family from an enemy that's been planning for generations? Part 3 is coming. Drop a comment telling me what hit you hardest. The warehouse raid? The mysterious stranger? That final phone call? Tell me below. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Part 3 changes everything or maybe ends everything. Like this video if you're invested in this family's journey. Share it with someone who loves Mafia stories with heart. Thank you for watching. See you in part 3.